Hello everyone, in this video we're going to work on, scroll up here, eviction. Well, I actually did record on this video. In editing, I'm just going to show you how I did it. It was very bad quality because I did it on my laptops and there were a really bad audio.
eCorp has found that the APT might have gained initial access using social engineering to make.
But I'm going to do it again. It's really simple. You don't have to start a instant or anything. You just straight up just copy this link and go to your browser. There's only one task here, so I'm just gonna read out the description. Sunny is a SOC analyst at eCorp, which manufacture rare earth metal for government and non-government clients. She received a classified intelligence report that informed her that an APT group, ATT&CK, APT stands for Advanced Persistent Threat, and it is ATT&CK might be trying to attack organizations similar to eCorp. To act on this intelligence, she must use the Mighty Attack Navigator, which is this site here. It's actually a GitHub site, but good thing TryHackMe does a lab on this before, and also create a static lab for this particular room. So very cool. The quality on TryHackMe happened to improve so much with this update. I'm very impressed. All right, let's continue. She must use the Mighty Attack Navigator to identify the TTPs used by the APT group to ensure it has not already intruded into the network and to stop it if it has. Please visit this link. Visit the link. Answer the question below. What is the technique used by the APT to both perform recon and gain initial access? We simply gonna look to this part here because a quick explanation here. On an attack, we usually navigate through the unified cyber kill chain, or let's see, unified. So there it is, unified cyber kill chain, or basically cyber kill chain. There's 7-step. I actually did a video on this around 7-step. We start with recon and then weaponization, and delivery, and then exploitation, and then installation, command and control, and also action on objective. It's basically like this. On the Mighty Attack, we have Reconnaissance, resource development, initial access, execution, persistent, privilege escalation, defense evasion, credential access, discovery, lateral movement, collection, command control, exfiltration, and impact. So a couple of steps are included in the cyber kill chain. Just this happened more in-depth step. So the first question here, what is the technique used by the APT to both perform recon and gain initial access? We look at the reconnaissance technique. On the reconnaissance tree here, there are 10 techniques. And the one that jumped out the most would be spear phishing, because credentials, I mean, you could look at credential to harvesting credential, or scan for vulnerability, but it doesn't give much. Most of the time it give you some information, but if you get a spear phishing link, so based from the IBM's spear phishing is a attack targeting a group of victims or a company. So if you get this going, it's more impactful. So I choose spear phishing and it was correct. Okay, so second question, Sunny identified the APT might move forward from the recon phase. Which account might the APT compromise while developing resources? Account. So if you look at the resource development, we see compromised accounts here. I mean, there are the stuff that are highlighted. Whatever highlighted, it's the thing we want to look at. But email accounts here is jump out because spear phishing, we need to email someone. We need to send someone some sort of message, some sort of email. Email account, the best bet. So the answer is email accounts. eCorp has found that the APT might gain initial access using social engineering to make the user execute code from the threat actor, or for this threat actor. Sunny want to identify if the APT was also successful in execution. What 2 technique of user execution should Sunny look out for? We answered technique 1, technique 2. So we already skipped this initial access here because it's pretty much social engineering. Need a victim to click on the spear phishing link, Once the spear phishing link being clicked on, some sort of deployment happened to gain initial access. Let's say it has a dropper and it downloads some sort of malicious malware and something executed basically. So we want to scroll down on execution tree here or execution step, and there are 14 technique. So we have to scroll down here and see user execution, and it's underlined for malicious file and malicious links. So that is our answer for the third question, and that is okay. So if the above technique was successful, which scripting interpreter should Sunny search to identify useful execution? We scroll up to the same execution tree here, and we want to look at the command and scripting interpreter, and there's only two command and scripting interpreter, or basically terminal. We want to look at PowerShell, that's our answer, and Window Command Shell. So basically CMD or command prompt. So far we know that it is a Windows system attack, a Windows OS attack, and that's our answer for the fourth question of this task, of this room. Alright, so next question. While looking at the scripting interpreter identified in Q4, Sunny found some obfuscated script that changed the registry. Assuming these changes are from maintaining persistent, which registry key should Sunny observe to track these changes? And that is, it jumped out on persistent. So we look at the next step after execution. There are 19 technique, and we want to look at the boots or login auto start execution, and that is registry run key, a startup folder. What it does for this persistent method, it's basically every time, let's say the malicious file or malicious link successfully deploy on the victim machine, it's changed the registry to every time the computer has been locked off and logged back on, or like turned back on. The auto run process, something similar to the task manager. If you look at the task manager being startup, and basically redeploy the malicious file again and again to keep the attacker persisting in the network or the system or the victim computer, and that's it. All right, next question. Sunny identified that the APT execute system binary to evade defense. Which system binary execute should Sunny scrutinize for proxy execution? So yeah, defense evasion. Go a little bit more. We find defense evasion here, and scroll down. The file deletion, masquerading, POS boot, bootkit, rootkit. It's also rootkit. And that is system binary proxy execution. And we look here, run DLL32. So I'm just gonna Google run DLL32 real quick. Run DLL32 is a standard part of Windows used to run dynamic link library DLL file. DLL contain code of various functions of a program that are commonly used by Windows process and third-party app. Run DLL32 is not normally a malware, but it can use to execute malware code. So if you open up the task manager, like the screenshot earlier I showed you, you're gonna find countless of DLL32 running all at once, and etc. etc. So basically, the APT group modify a legitimate run DLL32 or create their own run DLL32 to pass a defense mechanism, defense system, and to keep them from being detected on the system. And if it is successful, it's basically every time we going back to the registry run key here. So every time the computer logged in or turned on, it's basically this thing keep launch over and over again, so it keep them from have to redo the spear phishing link over again. So this is persistent method that keep them basically have access to the system. All right, let's go down to the next question. Sunny identified TCP dump on one of the compromised hosts, assuming this was placed there by the threat actor. Which technique might the APT be using here for discovery? So I'm gonna scroll up and then we're gonna skip past the credential access and see the discovery here. This is a step of, well, command and control, I would say. So step 6 of command and control, but we're in discovery because once you're in the system, you want to keep scanning. Like a CTF room, you might see me use LinP or WinP, kind of like this discovery. We try to look for something vulnerable, but this time the threat actor might use TCP dump would be the appropriate use on the shell here to basically sniffing the network, see what's else in the network, and find other vulnerable system to maybe do some sort of lateral movement, or even later on privilege escalation, like you basically pivoting between system to system in the same network, so it's harder for you to get caught on by defense analysts or defensive analysts. There it is. We see network sniffing. And yeah, it's network sniffing. It's basically our answer here. It's looked like the APT achieved lateral movement by exploiting remote service. Which remote service should Sunny observe to identify APT activity trace? So we scroll to the right. Like I said earlier, it's keep going right to finishing off all these unified kill chain or cyber kill chain here. But this is, I think, lateral movement is part of the command and control. So yeah. So we look at the remote services and see SMB, window or Samba, window admin share. And that's our answer. I think it's part of Active Directory. I did some room with Active Directory so you could create a Samba share, enumerating Samba, enumerating share. That's what the APT group doing too. To gain more access onto the network, basically we moving laterally. I mean the APT group move laterally to keep them from getting caught. And maybe sometime when you move laterally, you could also find out other information that you could use to escalate the privilege. That's also helpful in terms of moving laterally. It looks like the primary goal of the APT was steal intellectual property from eCorp information repository, which information repository can be the likely target of the APT. So we want to look at collection here, still on command and control kill chain step. But we look at the data from information repository, since it's say it on this, and it is SharePoint. So that's our answer. Some information being shared through the SharePoint. That's really that simple, self-explanatory basically. Although the APT had collected the data, it could not connect to the C2 server for data exfiltration. To thwart any attempt to do that, what type of proxy might the APT use? So we going to use command and control, last step, and we scroll down to proxy, one of the last step at least, and we scroll down to proxy, and there's two proxy being used here: external proxy and multi-hop proxy. External proxy could be third-party program being used in the system, and multi-hop proxy is basically connecting it's like a Tor. If you know what Tor is, it's basically connecting to one system, and that system continue the chain to connect to another system. So it's basically masquerading the original source. So it's a lot harder to trace back the original source, basically, as far as I understand. Let's Google it. Multi-hop proxy. There it is. It chains together proxy to disguise the source of malicious traffic. I was 95% there. I could choose better word to explain it, but I was close. There it is. Congratulations. You helped Sunny successfully thwart the APT nefarious design by stopping it from achieving its goal of stealing the IP of eCore. So we're done here. There's impact and all the stuff. So network denial of service is the impact. That could be bad, but not too bad. Network denial of service, it's just interrupt the business continuation or the operation. Data encrypted for impact could be ransomware or basically a system shutdown. This is fine. These are all less impactful things. It could be bad, but network denial service could be a pain in the you know what process. So you have to recover the network. It could stop the business from running for a little bit, but it could be worse. Like the disk wipe here is really hard to recover. Data destruction also hard. Account access removal, annoying. Data encrypted for impact, just you make headline with this, and that's it. Yeah, so that's it with this room. Fun one, eviction. I like it. I like the new update so far. I did the other room, so I'm gonna post it. The next room, I think it's called Friday Overtime. Already finished editing that. I just want to re-recording this, upload as soon as I can. All right, that's it. Have a good day.